one. Okay. Now, because this is a circle, it would make sense to come and use this. Now, if I go right here in the middle, hold down the Shift key. No, not that one. Is it Alt? Yeah, Alt. See how I go right in the middle and the Alt key? Nope, it's still very difficult to use. This one does take practice. And I'm going to get it. Ooh, let's see. I might have to go back to my trusty old magnetic lasso because of time. And yeah, I'm not going to get it. The book again wants you to use the elliptical marquee tool. I'm finding it too difficult myself. So I'm going to go select, deselect. I'm going to grab my magnetic lasso, and it was the pointer. And notice now I can just, it snaps itself. Okay. So I'm just going to go right in here. And the only reason why I can do this is because it's on a white background. So it's really recognizing, and I'm really good with the mouse. If I try to go too much into the gold area, it's going to pick it up. Click. And oh, see right there? That's where it's going to, that's why they don't want you to do that. So what I'm going to do is now I have to go grab my lasso. You know what? I wonder if I use my quick selection tool. Boom. There. Did it. Okay. Let's zoom back out. Okay. Grab my move tool. And this time they want us to have a couple of those. Okay. So I'm going to use the Alt. I'll put that one right there. Duplicate it. Control T allows me to transform, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and that lets me grow it. Duplicate, Alt, and I'm going to go, now instead of Control T, let me show you up here. If I could go to Edit, Transform, and I can scale it. Okay, that's one way to do it. Hold down the Shift key, make sure you maintain that ratio. Okay. There's also Edit, and then there's Free Transform. Takes you to the same place. All right, so there's a couple ways you can transform. I personally like the keyboard shortcut, Control T, and then just don't forget to hold down the Shift key to maintain that ratio. All right, select, deselect. All right, on to the next page. What they want us to do is, oh, they want us to change this color to blue. Well, we'll do that in another assignment, but it was just adjustments and then they inverted it. So let's keep going. All right, now for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to select this. This here, this coral is really jaggedy. You see this here? And to go in there and erase all that and paint that, that would be a really tough thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the geometric selection tool. Check this out. I'm just going to select it. Okay. Then what I want to do is I'm going to go through and grab my magic wand. Okay, magic wand. And I'm going to use the minus magic wand. Where is my minus? Maybe I got to use the Alt key. There it is. Okay, so I have to use the Alt key on this one. Alt and then click. And I clicked in the white area. And what it did is it went and snapped itself to all the edges. Isn't that nice? So now I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out. Grab my move tool. Hold down the Alt key. And I'm going to move and place my coral right there. Okay, select, deselect. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and grab, I believe, oh no, they want the clam. All right, now this one, they want us to use the magic wand, or the lasso, that's the polygon tool. Okay, so you'll notice that this one does sharp, straight edges, so you just have to click as you go around. Right here. Keep going around. so I don't know why the book's having you do it this way. I would have used a different tool, but I think it's because they don't want you to grab that shadow. So here we go. I'm going to just kind of do this. Now every little dip you see in the clam, or what is this, an oyster? I think it's something my husband eats. I don't eat these things. I think they're kind of gross. All right, he puts hot sauce in them. Eats them when we go to Vegas. Okay. Now, when you, oh, got it. You got to match up. There you go. Okay, now take a look up here. There's a feather button, all right? And so I want to add a little feather to this. That's like letting you, kind of gives it like a little, just feathers it, you know? And then you always want an anti-alias. You want alias. You want this on. It kind of makes it, smooths out the edges. There's the bell. So I got to speed up a little bit to finish up this project for you guys. All right, so I'm going to go up here, move. Come back down here, hold down the Alt key, and just move my oyster right there. And select, deselect, and it seemed to work. And I put that little feather on there, so it worked. Okay, so now we have this one. Now notice the background is not white, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, okay? And I have my selection tools. Okay, so I know a geometric shape's not going to work. The magic wand's not going to work because I don't have a solid background. And it's not straight. And if I freehand the lasso, we didn't use the lasso, but if I freehand it, I have to literally like freehand it. And we all know that that's a little difficult. Deselect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that magic wand, and I'm going to go through and watch. It just click, and then I'm just going to let it snap. And I believe I used this earlier in the video tutorial. So see here how I just have it snap around. Keep snapping it, snapping it. And students are walking in, so if we hear a little bit of noise, I apologize. So I'm going to keep snapping it, snapping it, snapping it, and get to the beginning, and oh, whoo, I made it. All right, so let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up here, check this out. I want to make sure that oh, I gotta go back up here to I want to feather this a little bit, just a little bit. Obviously, the more you have the feathers it. I'm gonna make sure that my anti-alias is selected. Go down here now, grab my move tool, Alt key, boom, and it looks like this one fits right here. Okay, select, deselect. Okay, now you're asking yourself, okay, now I got all these. What if I wanted to move a certain selection? Because I put them all on the same place. Well, that's the problem. So you can't. You have to, it's once you moved it and you set it in place, it's now embedded itself on that spot in the bowl because we put them there. So that's going to be an actual other lesson. But it's always a good habit to do this. So what was the easiest one? It was probably the sand dollar. So I'm going to go down here, grab my quick selection tool, grab my sand dollar. Notice how I grabbed the sand dollar. I'm going to come up here. It has a nice feather. Now if I take this and I go edit, copy, I just copied it. And if I make a new layer, see down here by this trash can, this new layer, and I call it sand dollar. Is it one word, two words? Oh, well, sand dollar. Make sure you're on that, and then you can do edit, paste, but there's paste special. You can paste in place, paste into, paste outside, but we're just going to paste it. Grab my move tool. I'm on the sand dollar. Now check this out. I can move it. Okay, I'm on that layer. See, I can move it. So if you want, for extra credit, if you create all of these different pieces on a different layer, I will give you extra credit. All right, enjoy, have fun, and create your dish of different seaside shells.